Well, and welcome to the Arsenal Presence. How we're doing this beautiful morning. I hope you are doing fine. Hopefully, we have a fulfilled day and a productive day. Before we get into the conversation, let's go through the protocols. You know the drill. Like the video, very important. Subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. Let me repeat for those at the back: like the video, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. What are we discussing? We know the rumor mills are beginning to spin quickly. The season is winding down. This is time for clubs to begin to be proactive, start negotiating for players that will come in for the ins and outs. A lot of rumors are going to be peddled this time, and it's for us to try and save out the real news and the fake news and the indifferent one. So, what are we talking about? Let's start with the link to Arsenal to Frankie De Jong. Good player, very top. I'll say top class player in my opinion, but the injury record and the fact that, in my opinion, he will not adapt to the English game for me makes it farcical. Why will see? I understand Ten Hag wanted him for Manchester United throughout last season. They chased him for how long and they couldn't get him. And by now, based on what we know of Mr. Ten Hag, his talent ID is extremely shoddy. He bought Anthony, didn't work quite well. Brought in Casemiro that we all knew, reasonable fan knew that the legs were gone. We are looking at how it's working. So based on his talent ID, we cannot be giving Ten Hag a lot of plaudits because he doesn't deserve it. It doesn't make him a bad manager. As a manager that might not be fantastic talent ID, but they can manage our coach well. So for me, Arsenal fans getting excited for the potential that Arsenal might try to get Frankie De Jong is, for me, he's a joke. Not because he's a bad player. I don't think Frankie De Jong can adapt to the English game. The intensity, the physicality. This is not Spain where they give you time to dwell on the ball. We've seen players come from other from other part of the continent and they struggle with the English game. Doesn't make them a bad player. It doesn't make them a bad player. Just that sometimes some people cannot adapt to the what would be the right word, to the demands of another league. Whereas Enzo is not a horrible player. We can banter Chelsea for we like. Enzo is not a bad player. I'm not saying he's a world-class player either. He's not a world-class player. But you can tell this, looking at him physically, watching him more intentionally, you can see he struggles with the physicality and especially the pace of the English Premiership. Coming from Argentina, playing for Benfica for 6 months, where it's more mellowed, you allow you to time on the ball. It's more of the technique than the ferocity of the pace and the intensity. So he's used to that, and he's not naturally a quick player. He's going to struggle in the English Premiership. And for me, Frank De Jong, for me, he's a good player, fantastic player. He is going to struggle if anybody brings him to English Premiership. He's going to struggle, just like the other Man player that is on loan that they bought. Van der Well, I've forgotten his name, the Dutch guy they bought 2 or 3 during a social period who couldn't hack it in English Premiership, then he's loaned into Everton. The same thing. Good player, but they struggle with the intensity and the pace and the ferocity of the English game. Doesn't make them bad players. It is what it is. Now, secondly, we are actually linked to this young chap, Gerard Hato, very good defender in my opinion. Had a lot of potential. You can see the potential there, but the fact that people are so keen, I think Arsenal will actually go and buy this guy because Fabrizio has been saying Arsenal are one of the favorite clubs. Fabrizio can do. I'm not saying Fabrizio doesn't get some news right. Well, sometimes he does this engagement farming. Let's just be real. He does this engagement farming. Like, yeah, he's not totally saying Arsenal are going to get him, but he's just putting out there's a chance. So you have to read between the line when Fabrizio says certain things. And for me, I'm looking at the logic behind the potential of Arsenal signing this boy. Where will he play? Now, where will he play? Because we need a left back. We need a left back. I understand the demand that technically Arsenal needs a left back, right? But what kind of left back is Arsenal looking for? The reason a lot of your assistants need a left back is because, unfortunately, your team had that long-term ACL injury. Because your Timber is a more vastly experienced player that can play the left back and the right back and the center at a higher level than Jato. Someone say, we can bring him in to be a potential case study. So he's going to leave Ajax, right? And come and sit on Arsenal's bench. There's Tomiyasu who can play that position well. I understand some of he's injury prone. I get that, right? But it's still there. It's still there. We cannot, for now, emphatically say your team is injury prone. Anybody can suffer ACL injuries. Let's say it comes back. I don't think our priority is to get a left back because we have more than enough there. We have, even though a lot of you don't raise Zinchenko, I understand against the more talented, tricky wingers, Zinchenko is not your man. But we know Zinchenko can still do a very, very good job. Right? He can do a very good job. See, we like to while go to the extreme. Is a bomb? He's not good enough. Nah, Zinchenko is enough for certain matches. Now, if you're not playing the tricky winger like the Sanes, you are playing the likes of the Gnabry's, for lack of I can't remember some other wingers name off my head right now. Then you can play your team back. Hopefully your team will be fit for next season. It doesn't have any history of injuries. We know ACL can happen to anybody. The Call of Aston had an ACL injury. Now he has come back for me and has been playing with no setback. So I'm hoping that your team back can come back with no setbacks and he will play, and hopefully he'll play the whole season. He can play left back as a higher level, a better defender than Jato will ever be right now. I'm not saying in the future Jato might not develop to be that fantastic prospect, but right now it's a prospect. So while we'll go and sign another left young prospect, when we have Tomiyasu can do a good job there, whether you can argue his injury records, he can do a good job there. Timber should be the first choice. Tomiyasu second choice, and I want to reiterate it. Zinchenko is not as horrible as a lot of you have painting him. I'm not saying it's impossible that Arsenal will not buy Jato. Oh, sorry, not Hato, rather Gerard Hato. Pardon my mispronunciation of his name, Hato. I just don't see the logic. You're not going to overly excite me by just linking out some certain players. A lot of you go and watch a few highlights and get overly excited. I don't see it because we have enough there. A lot of you still believe we don't have enough there because of the injury to Timber. The fact that we're chopping and changing because of the injury records of Tomiyasu and Zinchenko this season. But hopefully, they can stay fit next season. And if Timber stays fit, we do not need to actually bring in a player that will bring him and put him on the bench and become disgruntled. So you do not build a superb team, the best team, by having the best players. You build the best team by having the most compatible players. The failure of the Galacticos have shown us you do not get that superb team by the best players. You get it by the most compatible players. I'm not saying you don't have a few best players in the team or in the squad, but you have to make sure your squad is and your team and your starting level is compatible, not the best players. So Frenkie De Jong, good player. I'm not denying it. Good player. I don't see it. I don't think he's going to adjust to this league. I don't think he can adjust the pace, and his injury records makes it impossible for Mikel Arteta and Edu to consider, because right now we know we can't bring in players with dodgy injury record. We know how we suffer from likes of Partey, who is a very key player but not always available. They're going to bring in De Jong, who might have a similar injury history. You can't do that. And the fact that I do not think, that's my personal opinion, someone might disagree, he can adjust to this league. It doesn't make him a bad player. I don't see him adjusting to the pace, the ferocity, and the intensity of the English game. And for Hato, good player, I don't see any space for him. And I don't think Arsenal will go and buy a player just to bring him to sit on the bench and wither away his career. And I don't think he'll be sensible for this young man to leave Ajax, where he's playing regularly, and come to an Arsenal team where he might not get much games. That's just a fact. He might not get much games. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Some of you might disagree with my thought process. Give me a contrary logic why you think these players, Arsenal should push hard for these players. Let me know. You are free to disagree. I'm not running an echo chamber, but disagree logically, disagree with some sense why you think these players, Arsenal should actually go full throttle to get these players on board. For me, I disagree. Not that because I don't think they're good players. I don't think they'll fit how we play, and there will not be space for them in the squad. That is my opinion for now. On your way out, be kind enough to strike the like button, like the video, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. One more, the like button, very important for the growth of this channel. Subscribe here to subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.